Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about all of my purple eyeshadows. Purple is like maybe my favorite color. I don't know if you can tell from anything, but yeah. And I'm so excited to dive into all like the shimmeriness and swatch all of my purple single shadows out and see what we have, see if they're all worthy of staying in my collection. I actually already did film that part, so I'll pop up a screenshot of the palette as we're starting, and let's just get into it and see how it goes. I love purple eyeshadows, but this is too much. I know I've said this before. Sorry if I'm repeating myself if you have heard me say this before, but I want to kind of be more harmonious with my palettes also. So I have the Flight Club palette from Menagerie that I love, and it's very purple and all the shadows are really nice. And I want to keep this in mind, especially with the mattes, because these I can like pop out so easily, or I could just dip into here if I need. I don't want to have so many purple mattes, because purple mattes don't bring me the same joy that purple shimmers do. I also don't want to have more purple shimmers than I need, but just saying. And then also the Serenity Palette from Menagerie and Annette's Makeup Corner. It has a couple pretty purples in there. And we got this one deep dye in the Sydney Grace palette that I'll swatch when we get to that. So I haven't really looked at my single shadows in my other color family videos, but I know I just really like those palettes and all of those pop out. So that's a big plus for me. So let's just dive in. I'm going to start with the mattes, and then after the mattes, we'll move on to the shimmers. I have two from ColourPop to start. These are from like those pastel palettes. So this is like a light purple and a bit of a more orchid purple. I don't think I'm crazy about either of those. I find a lot of the times those like little tiny ColourPop ones just feel so dinky, and these don't swatch very well, so I'm going to declutter both of these. Next I have this lavender. It's from Shroud Cosmetics. I think that's what they are now. It was the Creepy Cute palette that I depotted, and I think this is like a lighter lavender than what I usually like. Yeah, I'm also going to declutter that one. Next we have Eris from ColourPop. That's a nice tone. I like that one a lot. Silver Lining from ColourPop. I know it's really old, and I don't know if this one comes up that well, but I think it is pretty unique in my collection, and I do like this in my crease for a more purple, dusty look. Yeah. This next one's from Menagerie. It's the shade Jellyfish. That's really pretty. And I think this one looks kind of similar. This is Remy from Davina. It is similar, a tad deeper, and I'd say even Jellyfish has more blue in it than Remy does, but I like both of them. Remy's super powdery though. I can see it's like falling apart. Why is it doing that? That's something to definitely consider in the future. I didn't realize how messy that one is for no reason. I'm going to swatch Metamorphosis from the Serenity palette with those just for fun. I know I love this shadow and I never use it. Yeah, that's way more of like a cornflower blue, but it's still in the purple family, and I love it. Next one's also from Menagerie. It looks like a deeper blue purple. It's Octopi. I don't use this one very much, but I like it. It would be really pretty to deepen up any of those. Okay, we're next entering a section that I'm not very excited about. It's where I have a lot of depotted Jeffree Star shadows. I don't purchase from him anymore, and I think these purple shadows are not my favorite quality. There's two of them. Those last two are pretty nice, actually. I'm definitely decluttering these first two. Okay, for this one, I want to compare it to Sky Puppy from the Flight Club palette. I think it might be a similar color. This one's brighter. You know, anything that I would need this for, I can use this for, and this one doesn't bring me joy. I don't feel happy looking at these depotted Jeffree Star shadows, so I'm going to declutter this one. And then to compare it to that purple, I want to look at Flighty from this palette. It's definitely more grape than that one, but I think same thing. I'm proving to myself that I have these like really nicely pigmented purples. Even if they're not exact, they're good enough. Whoever said that I need that exact color. And then while I'm in these deeper purples, or deep bright purples, I want to look at Perp Smurf from Colored Rain. This is another one that doesn't really make me happy. I'm gonna declutter it. I don't need it. I don't need it, and I'm never gonna run through all of that one. And if somehow I did, I could just replace it also. I just don't want to have such a crazy overlap of things that I'm not using that much of anyway. This one from Menagerie is Allium. That's a really unique tone. I like that one a lot. Looks really pretty with those Flight Club colors. Oh, and just for fun, I'll swatch a new from the Serenity Palette. That one's pretty unique in here also. Most similar to, I think this was another Menagerie one, but I'm keeping them both for now. Okay, and you know what? I might change my mind, but I think I do want to keep Perp Smurf in here right now. Just looking at these purples, like I know I just said I want to use my palettes more often, but it just feels kind of empty to look at these purples without that kind of shade being represented in my single shadows. So I'm going to keep it for right now. Okay, on to these deeper ones. This is a Jeffree Star one. That's fine. Nice quality. And then we have one from Glaminatrix. This is the shade Burlesque. A little bit powdery. And a little bit deeper, but I think it would really serve the same purpose. It's not like these would be overall lid shades anyway. I would just be deepening up another shade with them probably. And then we have Black and Plum from Give Me Glow. This one feels a little dry, but I think that's what their mattes tend to do, and then they still perform really nicely. I'm not ready to make a decision between the Glaminatrix and the Give Me Glow. I don't think I need both of them forever, but I'm just not prepared right now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter the Jeffree Star one, and these are kind of pending for a later time. Okay, that's 8 mattes decluttered, 9 that I'm keeping. I'm going to wipe these off, and then we'll get on to the shimmers. Okay, on to the fun/hard part. Looks a little overwhelming, but if I love all of them, I love all of them, and that's okay. We're gonna start with the lightest one. This is an iridescent. This is UV from Cleona. I use this a lot in my inner corner. It's not as shimmery of a shade as a lot of other iridescent shadows I have, but it has a really nice glow to it. Definitely doesn't look as pronounced right now as it does at times in my inner corner, but trust me, it's nice. This is a super unique shade that I kind of put with the purples, but there's not really like a perfect place to put it because it is just so unique. It's ACD5 from Adept. It's the best shadow that I've ever tried from them, and I hope they bring it back one day. It's like a really gooey consistency, which is why like I have pan in it, but it's just from it like being smushed around. It looks so pretty on the eyes. It really like dances with color. Next, let's do this one from Glaminatrix. This is in the shade Gleam. Oh, that looks so pretty on my finger. I feel like these Glaminatrix ones, I haven't like taken enough time yet to really get to know them and their differences. But you can tell like that's such a pretty shadow. Ooh, I'm so happy to have that. It's not even like quite purple. Like both of these don't really look that purple. They're just so sparkly and delicious. Next up we have 2 from Luxie that I was thinking originally I might end up decluttering one, but I was kind of swatching them the other night and I feel like they are really different. This first one's called Charmed. It's like a light bluish, purplish, iridescent shadow. And then next to it we're going to swatch Ube, which is a favorite from them. Ooh, that looks so pretty. It looks so green and pink when I look at it. So there's Charmed and Ube. And I think you can see they're like really different shadows. The finish is really different and the color is really different. I think Ube looks more like a green a lot of the time. So yeah, they're both staying. I feel like I don't have these grouped the best, so I might be skipping around a little bit. I'm going to swatch this Adept one next. This is ACI 6. It was in the original Plain Jane palette. Really pretty. It kind of looks like Ube and that Glaminatrix one, maybe a little brighter. Yeah, it looks unique, but it has a similar finish, but really pretty. I mean, this is the kind of data that's nice to know also, that like, just to know all of these are beautiful and I won't be disappointed no matter which one I use. Here's another Glaminatrix. This is the shade Luster. I think I always get this one confused with Gleam. I think this one's more purple though. Yeah. At least in my eyes, it looks like a little bit more of like a bright pinkish purple, which I think is a good segue into the next couple. There's a couple I've been dying to compare for a really long time. This is Kazookles from Davina. I don't even know what to say about these. It's kind of like a pinky purple, but just so like lit from within. Also really shiny on top of that. So there's Kazookles. I think that one's pretty similar to this Cleona one in Tracery. I think if anything, Tracery is like a little bit of like a bolder formula than Kazookles is, but I really like both of them. And then I think this is the one that I've thought might be similar from Luxie. This is Sugar Plum. Yeah, I think this looks like a watered down version. Kind of more gray also instead of the brightness. I think I'm going to declutter Sugar Plum. I think this Adept one looks like it belongs in this classification also. This is ACI 11, also from the original Plain Jane. Ooh. That one has more blue to it. It's super pretty. Next, I want to look at this Luxie one. This is in the shade Zodiac. It doesn't look like one of Luxie's really sparkly shadows. Yeah, it looks kind of dull. Yeah, that one's really not doing anything for me, so I'm going to declutter it. Okay, then I want to talk about some kind of like, what I think of as more kind of like pigmented lavenders. So I have this depotted Jeffree Star one that I think I do like. It is really nice. It's more of a metallic finish than a sparkle finish. I think I am going to keep it, but it's possible that I'll swatch a couple more and then decide to declutter it. We'll see. So another one I think of in that category is Totally Worth It from Sydney Grace. Yeah, it is kind of a similar shadow, similar metallic, but this one's a little bit deeper. I'm going to keep both of them. We also have this gorgeous one from Terra Moons. This is Purple Clouds. This is one I've like almost never used, maybe other than my eye swatching video, but I think about it and I like it. Yeah, similar to those, but just like a really nice formula and a little bit more blue. What is, oh, this is Painted Lady from the Butterfly Kisses Luxie collection. I think this is like a universal Luxie favorite, and for good reason. Look how pretty that is for a $3 shadow. I mean, even if that was like a $15 shadow, like it's still really good. So the fact that it's $3, incredible. Oh, and then for my own fun, I want to swatch Royalty from Cleona next, because I feel like it might be kind of similar. I mean, these Cleona ones seem like they always have a way of like impressing me even more than I think they will. They're really similar. I mean, Art Royalty, I do see more dimension to it. I see kind of like pink and blue in it, but still not a bad comparison. I feel like we're really digging into some of like my favorite shadows in my collection. This next one's Insane from JD Glow. Really pretty blue purple. Really like that. And then, ooh, Glam Rush from Shine by SD. This is another favorite, and it's a really unique purple because it's like a multi-chrome and it has a lot of green in it. It looks like bright green and pink from my angle. Ooh, really special, unique shadow. Next is another Shine by SD. This was my first purchase from them. It's the shade Absolute Joy. I think it's like a nice purple, but nothing spectacular. It is different than the other purples that we've swatched because it's like more of like a kind of orangey, chromey purple. That's actually probably way more unique than I give it credit for. This next one's from ColourPop, from one of those pastel palettes that I feel like I'm decluttering everything from. It's like a little bit more of a chunky shimmer than some of their other shimmers are, which is nice. But like, why would I choose that over one of those? So I'm gonna declutter this. This one I think I'm still gonna be deciding on. It's Glass Bull from ColourPop. It was really like a first of its kind in ColourPop days. Like, I didn't know where else to get like a shadow like that, but it probably is a really weak shadow compared to everything else I own now. I don't know, it has some nice subtle shine to it. I feel like I need to use it all over my eye a couple times and really decide how I feel, but holding on to it. Next we have No Place Like Home from Davina. I'm never really excited about this, but I think it is a nice like deepening the outer corner shade, and it looks pretty unique. It looks like a green, brown, and pink from my angle right now. Yeah, that does not look like it belongs. So that's cool. That's unique. Running out of hand room for this. Next, let's do this Luxie one. This is Fuchsia Af. This was one that I picked up on the first of the year, and I've really been enjoying it. Really pretty. It looks very pink right now, actually. but really pretty. Here's another Luxie. This is Lithium. This might have been the Butterfly Kisses 2 collection. It has a nice glow to it, but I just don't think it's doing enough, and I feel like it would serve a similar purpose that like this really pretty Adept one serves. So I'm going to declutter that. Next up, we have Hydra from Terra Moons. This one looks really interesting. It looks like rose gold, bronze, and blue from my angle. It's a really bad swatch, but I hope you can tell. It's like a weird like reddish base also. It's a really interesting color. I don't think I even realized how interesting that is. This next one's from Adept. This is ACD 11. It's an older shadow of theirs. Oh, I was thinking I wouldn't like that, but it actually has like a really nice pigment, and I think I might hold on to that and use it to like deepen up shades without making them brighter. The next one's from Menagerie. It's from their Chameleon collection that they had over the summer, but this one's definitely less sparkly than the other ones. It's Koala Hugs. I was really excited about this one, but it just doesn't have the same finish, but it does look really cool. It looks really green right now. Yeah, I'm holding on to that. I think this is the kind of shadow also that like, it's not the same wow formula as the other shadows in the collection, but on its own, it holds up. Next, we have another Adept one. This is ACI 4 from the Plain Jane palette. A lot of purples in that one. Yeah, pretty sparkly shadow. The next two, I think I've both used these in my random palettes already this year, and I think I like both of them. This is ACD 15, and also I'll swatch with the Menagerie Starling. I really like the formula of Starling. Just something about that like grit to it is really appealing. So there's the Adept one, and there's Starling. Really like both of them. This one looks pretty similar too. This is UFO from Terra Moons. Pretty bright. Shoot. Hopefully that's okay. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Pretty bright shadow. Yeah, more of a purple than that Adept one. Pretty. Okay, and on to the final four. So this is Reign of Terra from Terra Moons. This one looks very light blue and pink. Looks really blue in the base also. Pretty interesting. And then we have Vixen from Luxie. I think this is one of their older shadows, and it feels kind of hard, but it looks really pretty. You know, I'm going to use my detective work and swatch that against one of my Menagerie ones. I think I can talk myself into letting go of that one. Megabat. I think I'm going to compare it to Megabat. I mean, I don't even know if they're trying to be the same thing. They both are purples with blues in them. Yeah, I think I'm going to declutter Vixen. Okay, the penultimate one is Jelly from Luxie. I think this is like their Halloween collection, something like that, in like 2020, I think. It's kind of similar to that Vixen one, but I think it's nicer, and I'm going to keep it. And then the last one is a Sydney Gray shadow called You Only Better, which I'm very not excited about, but it is pretty unique in my collection. It's like this deep eggplant. I don't even know if it looks shimmery, though. Like, it catches the light kind of nicely, but it's just so dark and not shimmery. Is that similar to that Sydney, or it is Sydney Grace, but that other Sydney Grace? Yeah, I have Forget Her Not in this palette, which I've actually never used, but I know I want to hold on to that palette. That one's a little bit more blue, but yeah, I'm going to get rid of this one. It really doesn't excite me. I really don't need it. If I want to deepen up something, I could use that, or I could use that Davina one from before, or, you know, one of the mattes, of course. Okay, so there's definitely still some shimmers in here that I want to play with more, and my feelings on might change, but I'm pretty happy knowing that I weeded out some that I definitely don't need, and I have so many in here that are so incredibly gorgeous. So for the shimmers, I'm holding on to 30 and I decluttered 6. That's actually like a better percentage than I would have guessed it would be. Yeah, 14%. I'll take it. And this palette now looks super manageable. That really makes me excited for these colors. I like the way this looks, and before it just looked so like jumbled and overwhelming. I have most of these super gorgeous shimmers in here. to play with. Nice. Okay, and now that I've finished all my rearranging, here's my palette as it is right now. I'm super excited about it. It just feels really manageable to me, and I feel like the couple that I wasn't so sure about, I can kind of figure them out now because I have a better grasp of what's in here. On my eyes, I have a couple of the mattes, and the main shadow on my lid is Tracery from Cleona, and I deepened it up with UFO from Terra Moons. And yeah, I hope this was fun. If you enjoyed this, please give me a like, subscribe. There's way more swatching all of my single shadows content and other indie content on the way. And that's everything for today. Bye.